What's up guys, this is Corey with the Dirt City Gym, back in another video for y'all today. So today we're taking another look at the whole red-green archetype that we've looked at quite a bit before actually. We're looking at it with a new leader this time that I think provides a little bit of a different aspect to the whole engine, and that's with our Son Goku, Vegeta, and Gogeta BR leader. He adds a little more draw power than we get in a traditional Pan, because he has more of a static draw as opposed to Pan, which needs to play things. He's also self-awakening for situations where that's important. So there's a couple different things that go about him that make him really interesting. So let's go ahead and get into the list. Alright, so first up we've got our leader, Son Goku and Vegeta, then Gogeta BR on the back. Activate main once per turn. Choose one red Son Goku BR card or red Vegeta BR card from your hand, place in your drop area, draw 2 cards, then choose up to 1 card in your life and add it to your hand. Awakening, when your life is at 4 or less, you may draw 1 card, then choose up to one of your energy and switch it to active mode and flip this card over. On his backside, he's Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta Fusion Perfected. Auto, whenever this card attacks, draw a card. Activate battle once per turn. Choose 1 red card from your hand, place it in your drop area. If there are 2 or more red Goku BR cards or 2 or more red Vegeta BR cards in your drop area, and at your turn, your opponent can't activate counter skills with energy costs of 2 or more for the duration of the turn, and this card gets plus 5k power and double strike for the duration of the turn. So being a 20k double strike leader is really strong in and of itself, but then being able to shut down counterplay cards is really good. So you're looking at things like Mafuba, you're looking at like Denial of Hope, Preemptive Strike, any of the counterplay cards like Vegeta the Cruel, Mach Speed Kaio-Ken, pretty much any of those are just shut off, so they can't activate those. So if you're able to like swing with your leader first, or even swing with any card, and then you can activate battle this, you're able to shut all those off, which in certain situations becomes like really strong for you, because it pretty much ensures that whatever you're trying to play is going to happen this turn. So a lot of really good value there. Moving on to the list, so first up we've got a full 4 line of the Son Goku prepping for fusion and the Son Vegeta prepping for fusion. We're going to look at both of them at the same time because they're pretty much the same card. Son Goku, whenever you play this card, look up 3 cards from the top of your deck, choose the 1 Veku BR card or red Vegeta BR card among them, then add it to your hand. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order, then at the end of your turn return this card to your hand. And then the Vegeta finds a Veku or a red Son Goku BR. So from that aspect, they're the exact same, just one finds Vegeta and one finds Goku. So for one, they're really great 10k pressure that searches a card off the top of the deck, and then at the end of the turn, it just returns to your hand, so it's automatically just a +1 as long as it doesn't get killed sometime throughout the duration of the turn. These are also really great just pitch to your leader target, so you pitch, draw 2. So really great value there. Next up we've got 4 Broly Demonic Origins. It's a 2 cost, 1 red, 1 green, 15k. Permanent, if there's a card that is both red and green in your energy area other than this card, negate this card's energy exhaust skill in all areas. And then auto, whenever you play this card, your opponent chooses 1 card from their hand and places it in their drop area. Typically speaking, majority of the time, we're never actually hard casting this card. This is just a straight to energy, especially if we've already have a multicolored card in energy. So then we can just safely charge these as the game progresses and not worry about getting that energy neg by that card coming in at rest mode. So really powerful there. Next up, we've got a 3/3 line of the Harmonic Energy SS Blaze Son Goku and SSB Vegeta. So the Goku is a 3-drop 2 red 10k auto sparking 3. Whenever you play this card from your hand, look at up to 7 cards from the top of your deck, choose up the 1 red Vegeta BR card among them and play it in rest mode, then shuffle your deck and then activate main once per turn. This card gets plus 10k power and can attack active mode battle cards, and then auto at the end of your turn return this card to its owner's hand. So kind of in a similar vein of the prepping for fusion cards, these return back to the end of the hand and end of the turn, so they're not actually negging anything, they're actually plussing as long as it's hits. Looking at the top 7's pretty deep, so you're typically able to find something, and then being a 20k that can attack active mode battle cards is really strong. This can deal with like little barrier threats or just kind of sitting around or whatever it is, and apply a lot of pressure. Moving on into the Vegeta, so he is an activate main sparking 3, switch this card to rest mode, look at the top 7 cards from the top of your deck, choose up the 1 red Son Goku BR card among them, then play it, then shuffle your deck. And then activate main once per turn, choose the 1 of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and it gets minus 10k power for the duration of the turn, and then auto at the end of the turn, return this to your owner's hand. So these work pretty similarly, they just do kind of different things. So the Vegeta, you play it, you get a Goku and put it in active mode, versus the Goku, you play it, you go get a Vegeta and put it in rest mode. And then Vegeta is really nice because it just minus 10k something, ignoring barriers, so we can just get rid of a threat that you don't want to deal with. You're looking at, maybe it's like a striving to be the best or whatever it is, you just get rid of it even with barriers. So that's really, really nice. Moving on, we've got 2 Son Gohan the Avenger, so it's a 4-drop, 2 red, 20k counter attack. If your leader card is red, negate the attack and play this card. Permanent, during your opponent's turn, reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 2, so it becomes a 2-drop. And then auto, whenever you play this card during your opponent's turn, choose up to one of your opponent's leader cards or battle cards, and it gets minus 10,000 power for the duration of the turn. So this is really strong. So before, we were running a lot of the Kaio-Ken, or the Mach Speed Kaio-Ken. I've kind of been leaning more towards Son Gohan the Avenger because 1, it's an actual negate, and 2, you can actually like neg the leader minus 10k instead of just particularly a battle card, and then being able to apply pressures at 20k is very, very strong. This also doesn't require you to have a multicolored card in energy, it's just always a 2-drop for 2 red, so I think that provides a little bit better value than the Mach Speed. But there are situations where Mach Speed might be better, so we're kind of testing that around, but I do like the Gohan the Avenger just because it actually is a negate. Alright, moving on, we've got 4 SSB Gogeta Resonant Explosion. So he is a 5-drop, 20k double strike, a rival for red, green, and a red. Auto, whenever you play this card, choose up one of your opponent's battle cards with energy costs 4 or less, KO it, and you can't play SSB Gogeta Resonant Explosion for the duration of the turn. It's just really great at rival card, being able to blow something up. You have like a Sugesh type effect. If they're swinging with something with a cost of 4k or less, or 4 or less, that does that barrier, you can just pop it, even if they like dump their hand into their combo, which is really nice for you. Just being able to apply a lot of pressure for 1 energy is very, very strong, which is a really, really solid card. Alright, next up we have 2 Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta Critical Combination. It's an 8-drop for 4 red, triple strike, dual attack, and then permanent, if your leader card is a Gogeta BR card and your life is at 2 or less, reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 4, and you can only have up to 1 SSB Gogeta Critical Combination and play in your battle area. So this is kind of a finisher card for us. If we get down really low in life, 2 life, you can just play this card for 6. Or excuse me, you play this card for 4, and so it's just a 4-drop for 4 red that swings in 35k, triple strike, and dual attack, so he can just close out games by himself. There's not a lot that can interact with him, especially if you use your Son Goku or your Gogeta BR ability to prevent the counterplay skills, so they can't Mafuba him or whatever. Just a really, really kind of great way to close up the game. That's why we're only running 2 of, because he is only available to us near the end of the game. Moving on, we've got 4 Urgent Aid Kami. It's a 4-drop, 1 green, auto whenever you play this card, draw a card, and then auto once per turn whenever your opponent switches energy to act mode using a non-awakened skill during their turn. Choose one of your opponent's energy and place it in its owner's drop area. So more often than not, we're running this because it's a 0-5k green card, and we need more green cards for a rival and different things like that, so that's why this is here more often than not. Being able to just pay it to draw a card is nice, and then in certain situations where opponents like to untap energy on their turn, it comes in kind of clutch there. Next up, we've got 2 Super Saiyan Gods, Son Goku, Energy of the Gods. It is a 3-cost, 1 green, 15k permanent. If your opponent has 2 or more battle cards in play, reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 2. So it becomes a 1-drop for 1 green, and then auto Sparking 3. This skill takes effect when you have 3 or more cards in your drop area. Whenever you play this card, draw a card. So it's a 15k for 1 that draws a card, because we're always pretty much going to have Sparking. If your opponent has more battle cards in play, it costs 1, so it's really nice. Also, it's a 0-5k green card, which is really good value, and really are running it more than anything. Next up is Super Saiyan God Vegeta, Energy of the Gods. It's a 3-cost, 1 green, 0-5k combo, 15k permanent. If your opponent has 2 more battle cards in play, reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 2. And then auto Sparking 3. Whenever you play this card, choose any number of your opponent's battle cards, which the total cost adds up to 2 or less, and KO them. So it's good removal. It's a 1-15k. It's a 0-5k green card, so it's got good value there as well. Moving on, we've got 4 Vegeta the Cruel. It's a 3-drop, 1 green, 15k. Counterplay, play this card. Permanent, if a multicolored card is in your energy, reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 1. And then auto, whenever you play this card, during your opponent's turn, choose up one of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost of 4 or less, KO it. Then your opponent chooses 1 card in their hand and sends it to their warp. So this is kind of our go-to counterplay card. We play this, we kill something, we make them warp a card, and then it's a 15k on our turn that swings. Just really great value. Like I've mentioned before ad nauseum at this point, I think it's one of the better cards in the set. It's just a really fantastic, great value card overall. Next up for our super combos, we're running 4 Master Roshi Martial Expert because it's a sparking super combo and we're pitching cards pretty regularly, so we should get to sparking pretty quick. So I prefer this over the 4 less life because we are getting to sparking pretty quick. And then for our ultimate, we're running 1 Super Saiyan 3 Scramble, Raditz, Vegeta, and Broly. So it has a rival for 5 for 3 red and 2 green. Whenever you play this card, choose 1 card in your life, add it to your drop area. Then your opponent takes 2 life, and then auto whenever your opponent combos. If the combo has an energy cost of 2 costs or less, it's placed in the drop area, so it removes combos. This is a really great way to finish the game. Some really good interactions with this, or you swing with your leader, you give your leader double strike. So he's a 20k double striker, then you rival him in a play, and then you dump your hand into the Goku. So they're taking 2, and then now you're effectively swinging in for like quadruple strike at that point, because now their combos are shut off. Or even if you just swing with a single strike and then drop this, it's like swinging into a triple strike, which is really nice. You're getting able to play this on your opponent's turn too, which is really nice as well. Just a lot of really great value. And then moving on into our extra cards, we've got 4 After Image Technique, just our good Sparking Negate. It's a pseudo negate, it's not technically a negate, but if your leader card is red, choose one of your battle cards, or choose one of your cards, gets plus 40k power for the duration of the turn. Then choose one of your opponent's battle cards, gets minus 10k power for the duration of the turn, so this can remove something. It's a 50k swing on big attacks, just really great value. It is sparking, and like we talked about with the super combo, we're getting a lot of cards in the drop area, so this should be live more often than not. And then finally, 3 Denial of Hope. Just a 2 cost 2 red counterplay. If your leader card is red, if the battle card your opponent is playing has 20k power or less, it is placed in his owner's drop area instead of being played. Just one of the best of these counterplay type cards, just because that 20k power limit is on a lot of cards that are really important. You can just play this and get rid of it. So very strong there. So all in all, that is the list, and kind of like I talked about, I do think the deck has some interesting interactions that's missing probably from the pan leader, just because you're not drawing cards, because you're able to draw cards just passively. You can just pitch a card, draw 2. It's also self-awakening, so you don't need to run like the intensifying power trunks and all those kind of things to awaken whenever you need to. I don't know if it's better than pan. I still think pan is probably the premier when you're running this red-green type stuff, because Super Saiyan Gogeta does different things, but I do think it is powerful in its own right, and it's another way to kind of go about the whole archetype. But anyway guys, that is it, and we will see y'all next time.